With us now is Illinois Congressman Mike Quigley, who sits on the Intelligence and Appropriations Committees. He is also a member of the House Gun Violence Prevention Task Force. Congressman, thank you so much for being with us. I'm just wondering if you think there's any chance, are you at all hopeful that there's any bipartisan agreement that could come out of these talks or any others?
Well, look, if past behavior is any indication, no. I mean, if it didn't happen after Sandy Hook, it's hard to imagine it'll happen now. Any other horrible school shootings that have taken place in our life. I just managed to pass something called mixed denial, which requires federal authorities to let local prosecutors and law enforcement know that they've denied someone, felons and domestic abusers who shouldn't buy guns, so they can decide to prosecute. You know, that was supported by local prosecutors, that bill. It was supported by everybody but the NRA, including law enforcement. So how come, even though a majority of NRA members support universal background checks, they can't support that? When they start doing something responsible like that, I have more hope for the Senate.
So what other responsible, to use your words, things could or should Congress be doing that could maybe get some kind of bipartisan agreement? What are the things that could or should be doing?
Well, look, treating gun violence as a public health issue, you had earlier segments on that. It makes all the sense in the world. Identify the risk factors, test procedures that might work to reduce the gun violence that's taking place in this country. You know, I go way out there because ultimately, you know, no single issue is going to solve this. This is a cultural problem that goes well beyond just these efforts. But you have to try, and these efforts will make a difference. You know, I suppose it's impossible to talk about banning the manufacture and sale of assault weapons. But let's just use common sense. If the Second Amendment people talk about is to defend your home, your business, yourself, you know, do you really need a weapon designed for a theater of war? You're not really defending your home with that. No one would. You're not hunting deer with that. No sportsman would. You're hunting people. We've seen it all too often.
Congressman, I want to take advantage of the fact that you represent part of Chicago because just here a couple of days ago, Texas Governor Abbott used the issue of Chicago during a news conference to illustrate why tougher gun laws are not needed. Here's some of what he had to say. I want you to listen to this.
There are more people who were shot every weekend in Chicago than there are in schools in Texas. And we need to realize that people who think that, well, maybe if we could just implement tougher gun laws, it's going to solve it. Chicago and L.A. and New York disprove that thesis.
Congressman, I just want your reaction to that.
And my initial reaction is he's full of it and he knows it. 1 in 5 of the guns used and confiscated in Chicago come from Indiana with lax gun laws. 60% of the guns confiscated by law enforcement in Chicago come from states with lax enforcement. There are more gun violence cases in Texas than in Illinois, and he knows better. So this is the distraction. This is some effort on his part to not do anything that requires an ounce, a modicum of courage to address this. The fact of the matter is, when you've got a weapon with a 100-round magazine, you're going to be able to kill a lot more people, and that just isn't needed. So, yeah, there is reasonable gun control measures that will save lives. He was just witness to it, and he's a massive denier.
Congressman Mike Quigley, I thank you for being with us this morning. Appreciate your time.